All right, so we are going to go ahead and find the second endpoint when we're given a midpoint and one endpoint. Okay, the first method we're going to use is the midpoint formula. And the midpoint formula just simply says we add the x's together and we divide by 2, and then we add the y's together and we divide by 2. The problem is these are going to be, this is how we would find the midpoint. The problem with this situation is we are given an endpoint and we are given a midpoint. So when we set this up, we actually have, for example, -4 plus x over 2. And we have 1 plus y over 2. And that is going to be equal to our midpoint, which is going to be -1, 2. So at this point, we don't have the endpoints. The x and y that is missing is the x and y missing is the second endpoint. So in order to solve this, I'm just going to take each piece and set it equal to its appropriate section in the midpoint. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take -4 plus x over 2 equals -1. And then I'm going to take 1 plus y over 2 equals to the value of 2. And from there, simply just going to solve. So 2 times -2, I get rid of that 2 in the denominator. So I get -4 plus x equals -2. I'm going to add 4. And x equals to +2. And then I do the exact same thing. I'm going to multiply by 2 to get that 2 out of the denominator. So I get 1 plus y equals to 4. And I'm going to subtract 1. And it's going to be y equals 4 minus 1, which is 3. So we have the midpoint, which is 2, 3. Now, some people like this method a little bit better for these types of problems. So what we do is we start with the end. We write down our mid, and then we write down the end, okay? And so if I write down the endpoint, which is -4, 1, I'm then going to write down the midpoint, which is -1, 2. Just like what we did before, we find the distance between those values. So I know if I go from -4 to -1, I'm going +3. I started with a lower number and I'm increasing it to -1, so that's +3. And then I'm going from 1 to 2, so that means that we are going to be adding 1. Okay, and we just keep this going. Because it's the midpoint, 3 is the distance to the halfway point, 1 is the difference to the halfway point. So we just keep the pattern going. We add another 3. So let's do that in a different color. We add another 3 and we just add another 1. So -1 plus 3 is going to be 2. And 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. And you can see that's another method to get to the exact same point, but not having to use all the algebra in order to do that.